Okay, hello everybody, here we go. We have a crazy experiment today for our LOTRO luncheon. And the plot at this point. Okay, so here's the inspiration. We're here on the Treebeard server on Landraval, my home away from home. A member of my kinship has a level 1 character that they, I believe, have maxed out in all of their crafting. How did they do that? Well, of course, they used the Tortoise Stone. But how do you get a level 1 character out of the introduction? You got to slap the Tortoise Stone on them immediately, of course, to disable experience points. We'll show you that in a second. But also, what comes next? Because if we try to get through the introduction at level 1, aren't we going to be killed? If we use the skip the intro purchase from the store, is it not going to automatically boost us to level 5? We're going to find out today. That is our goal. And as I said, I'm here on Treebeard. I'm recreating my Hobbit burglar, Mr. Roxo, the rock and roll Hobbit. That's my main actually over on Landraval, and so I figured if I'm going to make a second character with this crazy experiment, might as well be a Hobbit burglar. So let's get into it. You guys can watch me clean up my inventory. I'm not going to make you watch that actually. We're just going to get started. Because let's talk about, alright, let's think out loud here for a second. So if we've got a burglar, and the intro basically goes through level 7. I don't know about that. That sounded a little risky to me. So maybe like a hunter would be a better choice? I don't know. Maybe... I don't know. I don't know what would be the best choice. Maybe champion? Because the other problem is that... the sneak is so slow. It's so brutally slow at level 1. But I don't know if I can stand it, like physically or emotionally. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's what we're doing. We're here to experiment. So I guess first things first, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining me on your lunch break, wherever you may be. And then let's buy the Tortoise Stone. See, this is the first Hobbit I've done on Treebeard, so it's making me do the tutorial, which is fine. Stone of the Tortoise, experience disabler. Alright, we're going to go ahead and pocket that bad boy. Where'd he go? There it is. Yes. Okay, experience is disabled. Let's get a little toot toot. And we're going to see what happens here. Alright. This is, yes, Mr. Hobbit says slowtro. This is slowtro to another degree. So we'll see what happens. So once we get through the tutorial, I expect we'll just see what happens. I'm just genuinely curious to see what happens. The person I mentioned from Landraval, I couldn't find them in Discord, so I couldn't ask them directly. So we're going to do it ourselves and see what happens. We're going to put in our knives in there. That's the other thing I thought about too, was we're not even, like, if we get new gear from quests and things like that, it's not even going to matter because we're not going to be able to use it. So in any case, I'm incredibly curious to see what's going to happen here. Okay, the stabs work. That's positive. How long are they make? Okay. Sorry, Mr. Bounder. Sorry about that. Oh my. Wait a second. This didn't happen in the books. That's okay. So many things happened in the book that didn't get mentioned in the book. So it's possible, if not probable, that Mr. Frodo and Sam and Mary, or Pippin, ran into a few people on the street. Don't worry, I won't try my Hobbit accent out on you. Let's see if we can clear some of this up while they have their little chat. What do we got here? Oh yeah, we do the Mordor frame. That's a good one. Got a nice dagger there. We'll worry about that later. I think we should get off the road too. That's why Frodo's the brains of the outfit. Not scary at all. Now that's curious. That's something I didn't think about. He's definitely Frodo Baggins in this and not Underhill. Maybe that's one of those moments where I'm getting my film lore and my book lore confused, but I think he was going by Underhill at that point. Yes, let's get out of here. So here's where the fun begins. We'll see how well we do with these bad guys. So I've been, even though this is super slow tro, I've really been enjoying the kind of slower experience on Treebeard. I just on my champ, my main, I just went through Evendom. And I was about a level behind. It's like 32, and the quests there by King's Cross are like 33-ish. So before I went on to Tinadir, I wanted to go back to North Downs and do that more completely for a few reasons. Partly because that is, I mean, it's just I never finished it, but also because that was one of the original zones. And so, thanks to the slower experience on Treebeard, I wasn't so over leveled that I couldn't go back and enjoy the North Downs content. So I like that. I'm keen to go back and do lower level content in general, even if I'm on one of my mains and I'm maxed out. But the fact that it's slow enough that I can do multiple zones without being over leveled is very appealing. Uh-oh, brigands. Speaking of Evendom, there's old Mundo, Sackville Baggins. Well, I can't remember his connection to Lotho, but Lotho's the one that starts buying up the houses, which is alluded to in the Evendom zone. Yes, Mr. Hobbit says if you stealth here, they still find you. That's absolutely true. I'm only a little level 1 burglar. I suppose these guys have got me outmatched. They could sniff me out. They'll never take me alive. I like that very manly grunt that our Hobbit last just gave. We have awakened inside a prison surrounded by brigands. They'll never find me back here. Psych! Alright, let's go. Mr. Hobbit says it's the Elder Scrolls moment, yes. Finally, you're awake. I guess it was at Morrowind where you start in jail. Here's where the fun begins. For poor old Amdir. Every single one. Okay, I didn't realize that every single one you start off as a prisoner. I played Morrowind a bit. I played obviously Skyrim, but that's about it. So my Elder Scrolls lore is a bit rusty. Alright, so we made it out of the tutorial. We are now in Archit. Archit is looking pristine and unburnt as ever. So I'm wondering what the strategy is going to be here. I think what I'm going to do is just stick with the epic. We're going to get a bunch of side quests for like killing boars and things like that. I think we'll just stick with the epic here, the intro. Let's go ahead and put our shirt on here. We do get some level 1 armor, which is nice. I gotta fix my bag. We'll sort out all the goodies later, but for now I gotta have one big bag. What about you all? You like having one big bag or a bunch of little bags? I feel that is a subject of much debate. Okay, we'll keep the original burglar costume because that's the way to do it. Mr. Hobbit says 6 bags. Do you do the thing where you have to each bag is like its own compartment? So you have like your potions in one bag and your tokens and vendor trash in another, that kind of situation? Yeah, organization's good. I'm waiting for someone. I feel like the Lord of the Rings Online has been around for so long, and there have been so many content creators over the years. I've yet to find the one to do a Marie Kondo style video series on organizing one's bags. I feel like there might be a market for that somewhere because part of it is because I've been VIP for a long time, so I don't have a lot of the same issues that free players have. But I think it could be beneficial to have a video series about keeping your stuff organized, what you can sell, what you can't sell. My impression is that a lot of people, they just don't know what to throw away, or they're afraid to throw stuff away, which I get, but at the same time, you gotta get rid of some stuff. Okay, so far so good. We've got some gear. We're still in combat with the training dummy. That's cool. Cool. You want to know what, Strider? I do feel confident. Let's see. Okay, so this is going to be our first hurdle here. I think we'll be okay, because ultimately, LOTRO, especially in its early levels, is a very forgiving game. But we're going to have to go and speak with Calder Cobb, and also defeat the Wolfmaster. I think that's his name, I can't remember. There he is. Hey buddy, it's me, the rumor monger. That's what I said. Zoop. Okay, we're in the right spot here. Let's see if we can get our first kill here. No problem. The this whole center section of Archit is still very impressive to me. The way they have the white flowers in the valley and the slope going up to the ruins is never gets old, no matter how many characters I start. In fact, I tend to move characters from other races back to Bree just because it is so pleasing. The Shire's great, Arid Luin is great, but ultimately, as far as starter zones, I think Bree's got it going on. So if we just can't get out of the intro, I'm starting to feel more confident. I think we're going to be okay. But just in case we can't get out of the intro, I'll be very curious to see what happens with the skip tutorial. Because if XP is disabled, then it probably shouldn't mess with your level. But if it does it through some other technicality where it's not actually giving you XP, then I could see it boosting you up anyway. But we're doing fine. We're sneaking, we're stabbing. We're doing all right. So for anybody just joining us, the plot for today is this. I started a level 1 Hobbit Burglar. Say hello. And immediately I bought the Stone of the Tortoise, so you can see there at the bottom of your screen. I have 0 out of 100 XP for my first level. And we're trying to see if we can survive the introduction at level 1. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to use the skip tutorial or skip intro bit, which you can buy from the store, which I've used many times because at a certain point you just kind of want to get into the game. This will be our first time. We'll be fine. 168 hit points, that's nothing. That's chump change. Now we're going to go give Calder Cobb the surprise of a lifetime. I will say, I think the best part about staying level 1, if this works out, is that I can just use my controller the whole time. Because I'll only have a few buttons for combat. Uh-oh. Got an arrow sticking out of me. That will not abide. All right. I'm trying to think of what we're going to have to do here. Because obviously we talked to Calder Cobb. We go back to Brackenbrook, and then there's those ruins. Improbable, not impossible, Calder Cobb. Come on. Then there's those ruins in the middle. So I wonder if we're going to be forced to go there or not. That's my next worry for our level 1 buddy here. But we shall see. Do I have a run boost in here? I don't. I guess you get that after the intro. I could definitely do with a run boost. There we go. That's a cute looking cloak. That is a tough call. Okay, let's talk to this gentleman, see what he's got to say. One of these days we'll do a fully voiced run of the game. You guys can hear all my wonderfully bad accents that I subject my Pathfinder group to each week. Alright, so like I said, we're going to skip over some of these other ones. Actually, let me look at the rewards before I do that. Yeah, I don't want to ring. I also don't want to help this brat. Oh, we have confirmation, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. The venerable Mr. Hobbit has just informed us that if you put on it, so Mr. Hobbit, you put on the tortoise stone, you do the level skip, you enter the world level 1. Is that correct? Take my shoes off. What am I doing? There we go. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing all this work. I'm not going to say it for nothing. I'm doing it for science. But if you want to make it a little easier on yourself, put on that tortoise stone, buy the level skip from the skip tutorial, I should say. Is it skip intro? Skip tutorial? Skip intro from the store. And you can have your very own level 1 character to show off to your friends and family. I wonder how practical this is going to be, crafting and doing social functions with a level 1 character. Like, it'll be cute at first, and then annoying if you unfortunately run into some bad guys, as I've just done. Yes, sir. We're doing it. We do it for the shenanigans. If there were to be a Hobbit science, it would be shenanigans. Or gastronomy. One or the other. Alright guys, we got the situation in hand. We're going to go to Comb. And they're going to help us out. Everything's fine. The other question is, what's the record for the number of times people have done this introduction? Because I'm a bit of an altaholic myself. And if you're, oh no, what are we to do? If you are not familiar with the term, alt meaning alternate characters, you get addicted to creating those. So I can't think of how many times I've done this introduction, but I have no doubt in my mind that there are people who have done this far more times than I have, because it's real with this game. And I know for me personally, it sometimes it's about wanting to try a new class or whatever. Oftentimes it's that I get an idea for a character in my head because I'm such a lore nerd. I think, oh man, a Hobbit hunter, that would be so cool. And so then I have to make a Hobbit hunter and get him to level X. But now I will say that I came back to the game. I had off and on years up until beginning of 2020, which proved fortuitous because I had a lot more time to hang out and play the game in 2020, thanks to the old Pandini. But coming back in 2020, the level cap was already at, I guess it was 120 at that point. I can't remember when it went up to 130. But anyway, it was high. And so the thought of doing that with all my many characters was extremely intimidating. And so I opted not to do that anymore. So I've got, back on Landreval, I've got my 130 Burglar, 130 Bjorning, and a smattering of alts. And then I've started a champion here on Treebeard. And now, Mr. Shenanigans right here, our level 1 Hobbit Burglar. Now, thanks to the research methods of Dr. Mr. Hobbit, we now know we could just use the skip intro, but we're too stuck in at this point. We're going to have to get the job done. We're not that far away now. I think the next bit is having to go to the hunting lodge. I said I did this 5 bajillion times, but now I can't remember what comes next. Half the time I just got tunnel vision. I'm just trying to get the thing done. What have you done, sir? All right, I was right. We go and talk to John Brackenbrook's child. Gray pants, huh? Okay. Ooh. Dr. Mr. Hobbit reminds us that the the skip intro is 25% off. So what is that, like 75 Lotro points, something like that? That's tough to beat. Here I am doing it like a chump. A chump who loves the shenanigans. All right, let's see. Still don't think I have a run speed boost. I got the absolutely marvelous journeyman riding skill, which I think was also, I don't know if that's still on sale or not, but it was, and that's great. But you can't do that till you get the novice title. You don't get the novice title till you finish the introduction. So let's see if that is a big fly. So we're stuck legging it here for a bit longer. All right, we've done it. Whoa. Oh, what's up, dog? You guessed it. All right. Now we're gonna go, let's see. Usually I swim. We'll just leg it this time. Zoop. Rather than wade through the marsh as the it's a long way around though. Let's have a dip. It's a lovely spring day. I guess this is right after. Oh, this would be September, wouldn't it? Right after Frodo left the Shire. Do the old jump trick. If you didn't know about it, you go a little bit quicker when you jump out of the water, because when you're jumping, it takes you out of the water, which puts you at your full run speed, which is a handy dandy trick. Which is funny, is if you go to the moors, I think they still do this. You'd have these just small armies of people jumping their way through the water, which got a little bit absurd. Okay, that was level 1 versus level 5. That's totally doable, and I wasn't even sneaking. So we'll see how we do here. I gotta think like a level 1 Blargler though, not a level... Oh, that's what happens with the level 1 Blargler. You get caught, and you get bludgeoned by this guy. Oh man. Hold up, so I can't even get my fast crafting? This idea is tanking very quickly. Mr. Hobbit says you can't get your... If you're a VIP, you get a quest, which enables some rewards that let you access a fast crafting boost, among other things, and access to your inventory. But level 1, you can't even get it. Whew. Maybe a level 5 character for crafting might be just as cute and less annoying. Woof. Now, I was about to say that I've got a bunch of crafting speed bonuses stocked away from Hobbit presents, but that's on Landreval, not here on Treebeard, so we'll see what happens after this. So are you going for it, Mr. Hobbit? You're going to stick with your level 1 guy just until you can't stand it anymore? Oh, let's get one more. There's another confusing thing uh, that people are not generally aware of. Maybe they are, and I'm just an idiot. But for the longest time, it took me forever to internalize the fact that hobbits and dwarves as well, but I think it's especially apparent with hobbits, have the same reach as a larger race. So you don't, especially as burglar, you don't have to get as close as visually you would think you would have to, as close as you'd have to be to enable your skills, because you have the same reach. So I was getting like even just there, I was getting all up in their business when I didn't actually have to do that. What do you mean you can't do festivals? What level do you have to be to do festivals? Level 5? Level 5. Wow. So these level 1 characters can't even do festivals. Phew. But yeah, I imagine walking around Bree at level 1 would draw enough stairs to be worth it. Like, look at that. I think I got my first quest I can't actually get because I'm too low level. Is that right? Wow. That's true. Dr. Mr. Hobbit didn't say it was a great plan. We just said it was shenanigan worthy. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Strategies? I know a guy. Okay, here we are. We're coming up. I think this is our last step before the big finale of the Hobbit slash man introduction. And then we will have successfully finished the LOTRO introduction as a level 1 character. Whether it's worth it or not in the long run is the scales are starting to tip. Our industrious researcher, Mr. Hobbit, has learned that you can't even pick up your VIP crafting boost. So even if this was going to be a crafting alt, it's going to be quite slow because I don't think you could even. We'll see what Mr. Hobbit says, but I don't think you can even get the tools. What are they called? So with each vocation, you have 3 professions, and each of those requires a separate tool. But at a certain level, um, there's the combined tools. I don't even think a level 1 person could get that. Okay, I've totally done this wrong. I'm not paying attention at all. I'm too busy thinking about my life choices, what has led me to this point, and the fact that I have to log off here in just a few minutes. No worries. Goodness gracious. In the plus column, though, I did have some delicious fresh banana bread I just baked. So that's good. A little sugar rush to get me through this weird experiment. Alright, cheers, Mr. Hobbit. Okay. As I said, I've done this about 7.2 trillion times. So I was jumping ahead to the part where you have to head in this direction. Not that it's a bad thing having to wander back through here, because they did. Oh boy, combat's getting a little iffy. because they did do such a great job with this area, with the ruins and everything. It's always a treat. Woo! Now combat's getting real iffy. Our experiment may be drawing to a premature conclusion. Oh boy. I do have potions, so that's good. But if I need a potion for every spider I gotta fight, we may be in some grave danger. Oh boy. Woof. Alright, let's see how it goes with this one. Do I have any food I can eat? I guess that would have been part of the benefit of doing some of those other quests. Get some edibles at least. Alright, I have hope. Oh boy. I got knocked out. I guess blowing the horn knocked me out of stealth. So now I'm starting off. Okay, this seems to be going better. This spider's not quite as dodgy, which is good. And yet... Oof. Alright, so after I scout this path, I'm going to have to take a little break here. And maybe we'll conclude the introduction tonight. This boy's already deflecting. It's really that 4 or 5 level mark where things get extremely challenging. Last time I Valared a character, I jumped straight into the Wells of Langflood zone. And that was rough. It was fun, and it, you know, gave me a little bit of insight into these psychos that want to do Deadly +6 on the new servers. Having that level of danger and excitement, but that's about as much as I could handle, and we are fast approaching that here with our level 1 baby tune. But I think this is the last spider we gotta fight. Yeah, alright, let's check the wall and then we'll get on out of here. The Brigand Scout met his doom at the dead end on this east path. Okay. Okay, we'll go talk to Johnny. Then I'm going to have to take a little break here. And as I said, hopefully later today we can finish the introduction and see what we've gotten ourselves into here. So what did we learn today? We learned that you can kill excuse me, a lot more stuff than I expected as a level 1 character. If you couldn't tell, I was a bit worried about those spiders, but we did fine. Only had to use the 1 potion with the 1 fight. We also learned that you can in fact use the Stone of the Tortoise level disabler, XP disabler, with the tutorial skip intro feature, without losing your level 1, if you're so inclined. We also found out, more thanks to Mr. Hobbit than my own endeavors, that you can't actually get your VIP stuff with a level 1 character, in addition to a few other fatal flaws, such as not being able to do the festival. Alright, so here we are. This is the last bit. This is the conclusion of the introductory story, where we see and take part in the raid on Archit by the Blackwolds. Gonna have to call it here for just a little bit longer, but thanks to everyone for stopping by, especially our esteemed researcher, Mr. Hobbit. And yeah, I don't have a regular schedule yet, but keep an eye out and we can hopefully finish this up later today. Bye!